Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Casey. I love all things books. My Christmas tree might still be up and it is the middle of January, but that's just kind of how life is sometimes. So today I wanted to talk about my 2025 reading goals. Last video I talked about my reading spreadsheet and my favorite books from 2024. So now we can talk about 2025 and everything that's going to go into 2025. I have a reading goal as far as how many books I want to read, and I have a massive TBR list. It's 80 books long. So as far as some like general reading goals, one reading goal that I have in 2025 is to read more arcs. I typically get really overwhelmed with arcs because I usually try to request a whole bunch of them. I'm going to try not to. I do have 28 that I've requested so far this year, but I'm hoping that they roll in slowly. I've already read one this year and I'm in the middle of reading a second one already. I will pop them right here somewhere. Now you'll see them. Another goal for 2025 I have is to DNF more. I, for some reason, have a horrible time DNFing. I feel absolutely horrible when I do. As I talked about last video, I read a lot of audiobooks, and sometimes I need to just read it in paper. Sometimes I need to read it on ebook. Sometimes it's the opposite. Most of the time when I do switch formats, I end up liking the book. I feel like part of me feels like I need to stick it out until the end because then maybe the end is going to completely wow me and I'm going to really like it. And I think that that's where most of my problems comes from with DNFing. But I think I should be more comfortable DNFing. I can always go back to books if I really think I'm going to like them. But some books just aren't going to be for me, and that's okay. Another goal that I have in 2025 is to read different genres. In general, I think there are other genres that I would really enjoy that I just haven't read a lot of. Specifically horror. I've read one horror book that I really didn't like, and I've read one horror book that I really liked, and I feel like the more that I read it, the more I'm going to like it, and I actually do think it is a genre that I will like, but I just haven't had the time to really sit down and truly explore the genre. So if you have any horror book recommendations, please drop them in my comments because I would love to have more recommendations. In addition to reading more horror, I also really want to read more nonfiction. I do not read a lot of nonfiction. I do a book group at my job and we read a lot of nonfiction there, but that's really about the only nonfiction that I read. Despite I actually really enjoy specifically memoirs, but also like some short nonfiction books I do enjoy. On that note, let's get into my 80 book long TBR. I know you're asking yourself, Casey, why did you make a TBR that is 80 books long? And what I have to say to that is that I really enjoy structure and I really enjoy having a lot of options, and I really felt that this is going to be a really good way for me to tackle my TBR. Having a plethora of books is actually more helpful for me because then I have more choices. So my first category of TBR is classics. There are so many classics that I haven't read, like Little Women, which is on this list, that I really think I will enjoy if I just sit down and read it, and I just haven't had the time or the energy to think of a good list. So I have a list of 12 classic books that I'm going to read this year. I've already finished my one for January, so I'm already feeling really good. When I was picking out my list of classics, it was really important to me to pick out books that were from marginalized groups. So one thing that I did is all of the classics that I'm reading are written by women. These are all going to be in alphabetical order because that's the easiest way for my brain to comprehend them. The first one is Anne of Green Gables. One second. Here's the siren. Beloved, Jane Eyre, Little Women, Murder on the Orient Express, Pride and Prejudice, Rebecca. My next batch of TBR are new releases in 2025. Historically, I have read a lot of new releases, and so nothing has changed this year. I love reading new releases. I think it's really cool. There's a lot of books on here that I'm super excited to read. Murder in the Dressing Room by Holly Stars is coming out January 14th. Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros and The Broposal by Sonora Reyes both come out January 21. I Think They Love You by Julian Winters comes out January 28th. Needy Little Things by Chanel de Samores comes out February 4th. Say a Little Prayer by Jenna Voris comes out March 4th. Stag Dance by Tori Peters comes out March 11th. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins comes out March 18th. We Are Villains by Kaysen Callender comes out March 25th. Renegade Girls by Nora Noose and Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez both come out April 1st. I Love You S'more by Ariane DeSambra and Roll for Love by MK England both come out April 8th. Pride or Die by C.L. Montblanc comes out April 15th. Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry and If We Were a Movie by Zakiya Jamal both come out April 22nd. All Fired Up by MK England and My Best Friend's Honeymoon by Meryl Wilsner both come out April 29th. Dream On Ramona Riley by Ashley Herring Blake comes out May 13th. Out of Step Into You by Sierra Birch comes out May 20th. Nobody in Particular by Sophie Gonzalez and Ready to Score by Jodie Slaughter both come out June 3rd. Backhanded Compliments by Katie Chandler and King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby both come out June 10th. And finally, Leaving the Station by Jake Maya Arlo comes out August 19th. That was a lot, but those are the books that I'm excited for that come out in 2025. My last category of TBR is my physical TBR. My physical TBR is so long. It is... I have so many books. I have more. So these are 25 books that I own that I have not read yet. So these I've separated sort of into genres. So the first genre I have are romance. A Certain Appeal by Vanessa King. Ander and Santi Were Here by Johnny Garza Villa. Blame It on the Mistletoe by Beth Garland. Epic Love Story by Kaysen Callender. Game On by Sarissa Glass. Juliet Takes a Breath by Gabby Rivera. Kiss Me at Christmas by Jenna Bayless. Real by Kennedy Ryan. Paris Dalencourt Is About to Crumble by Alexis Hall. Season of Love by Helena Greer. Unrealistic Expectations by Andy J. Christopher. The next group of books I have are fantasy, and those are Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne, Compass and Blade by Rachel Greenlaw, Legendborn by Tracy Dion, Unnatural Magic by C.M. Wagoner, The Ornithologist Field Guide to Love by India Holton, Owlish by Dorothy Suh. My next category, albeit there's only 2 books, is memoirs and nonfiction. 1 is Genderqueer by Maya Kobabe, and 2 is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. My last category is everything else. Those books are Enter the Body by Joy McCullough, Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell, O Caledonia by Elizabeth Barker, The King of Infinite Space by Lindsay Fay, The Woods All Black by Lee Mandello, and This Is How You Lose the Time More. My last category, because yes, I did forget that there was a 4th category, is other. The other category are books that I don't own, books that are not coming out in 2025, and that are not classics. It's sort of a random assortment of other books that I really have wanted to read that I just haven't had the time for. Those are Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, Fellow Travelers by Thomas Mallon, Gay the Prey Away by Natalie Nadas, Gwen and Art Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher, Slow Dance by Rainbow Rowell, Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake, Conclave by Robert Harris, Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews, Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder, Queer by William S. Burroughs, Rule of the Aurora King by Nisha Tooley, Silver Under Nightfall by Ren Shepeko, The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead, and Wicked by Gregory Maguire. I'm really excited. So, let me know, are there any books that are on my TBR that are also on yours? Have you read any books that are on my TBR that you think I'll enjoy? I'll see you guys next time. Bye!